Hello again. In this video, we're going to filter update packets in an EIGRP topology. Actually, guys, I've received many messages from you for creating a tutorial about ACL. But to be honest with you, ACL is not included in CCNP. In fact, it totally belongs to CCNA course. So I'm not going to make such a video for my CCNP course in the channel. But I know ACL is extremely important and you have to work with it in every single step in your Cisco path. I know, that's right. And I'm totally aware that many tutors and institutes don't support ACL subject properly. So I'm going to make a very comprehensive video about ACL with full information plus practical and real life scenario in it in the upcoming videos very soon. But I'm not going to place this video about ACL into CCNP playlist in my channel. I'm going to create another playlist with different name, whatever name, for example Cisco, into that playlist. Okay, in this video, we're just going to filter EIGRP packets into the topology. Okay, now let's look at the laboratory. As you can see, there are three routers. Router 3 is our target router at the end, router 2, and router 1 in the start. And there are three networks behind router 1, as you can see. Network 10 and 20, which are specified with green color. And as you can see, the first two octets of these networks are all the same. As a result, we can use summarization for filtering packets, right? And there is another network which is specified with red color. Its name is C. And its IP addressing is totally different. And we're not supposed to allow this network to be advertised in the topology. So we just allow these networks, network 10 and 20, to be advertised in the topology. And now what's the plan? The plan is to assign these networks, these IP addresses, into loopback interfaces in router 1 as a LAN. And then we're going to implement and configure EIGRP named mode in the topology in the rest of the routers and also router 1. And then we're going to create and configure our ACL and Route-map for filtering the packets to outside. Okay, now let's start from router 1. Firstly, we're going to assign IP addresses to the loopback interfaces. Loopback with ID 1, IP address 192, network 10. Let's say 10. No difference, this is just a laboratory, right? With subnet mask. Let's jump into another loopback interface with ID 2, which is specified for network 20, and IP address 20 for the host and net ID. For the host ID, let's say 20, no difference. Oops, what is that? 20. Okay, let's jump into the last loopback interface with ID 3 for network C. IP address, let me see, is recorded or not. Yeah, it's been recorded. Okay, 172.16.16. Guess what? 16. No difference. Okay, perfect. Now let's jump into the last interface, which is physical, and it is connected to router 2, right? It is interface gig 0/0. This is connected to our topology, to router 2. No shot IP address. As I wrote down in here already, we're going to address it 10.10.10. Because this is router 1, I'm going to assign 1 for the host ID, because this is router 1, with subnet mask /24. And we have done with this router with IP addressing. And right. Let's jump into router 2 here. The interface that is connected to router 1 is O/O, no shot IP address. As I already wrote down in the map, the host ID, because we are in router 2, the host ID would be 2. Let's jump into another interface which is connected to router 3. It is 1/0, IP address 20.20.20, and the host ID, as a result, it is 2 because we are in router 2, right? We have done with IP addressing in this router as well. Let's jump into the last router for IP addressing. Interface gig, which is connected to router 2. IP address, what's that? 20.20.20, and the host ID would be 3, because this is router 3. Okay, that's nice. Now it's time to implement and configure EIGRP in named mode, guys. So we go into router 1 again here. Router EIGRP CCNP. This family IPv4 autonomous system. Let's say ACE number is 10. Guys, if you don't know nothing about EIGRP configuration, I recommend you can flash back to my previous videos. I completely explained how to implement, configure, T-shoot, and even develop your topology in EIGRP in both named mode and classic mode. So I recommend you, if you don't know about that, you can go watch my previous videos first and come back again. Okay, now it's time to specify our network here, because we are in router 1, network 10.10 with wildcard mask. Network 20. What was the network 20? Do show IP interface brief. Network 20 is 2020. Network 192, 168, 2020 with wildcard mask, single IP, right? Network for network C, which is specified with red color, 172, 16.16.16.16, and single IP. And the last network, which is connected to router 2, network 10.10.10.10 with host ID 1, single IP. We have done with this router right now. I'm going to save the changes right now. Now let's jump into router 2. Let's do all the same here. Really quick. AS number 10, we have a couple of networks for specifying network 10, which is connected to router 1, and network 20, which is connected to router 3. And here, because we are in router 2, the host ID would be 2 and single IP. The last network is 20.20.22. As you can see, as soon as we specify the network, the new adjacency is discovered and the neighborship between router 1 and router 2 is established. And if we go to router 1 here, you can see that, right? New adjacency is discovered. Okay, we have done with, let me save the changes first. Now we have done with this router 2, and let's jump into router 3, the last router. Router EIGRP CCNP address family autonomous system AS number 10. We have only one network for specifying this router, which is 20.20.20. Guess what? Host ID is 3 and single IP for wildcard mask. As soon as we specify this network, as you can see, new adjacency is discovered and neighborship is established. Perfect. Now we are in router 3, target router at the end. I'm going to show you the networks that are installed in a routing table, and I'm going to also show you EIGRP TTO topology table. So for showing TTO topology table first, IP EIGRP topology table all links. Here we go. All of the networks, including network 10, network C, and network 20 are here, exist here. And I'm going to also show you routing table. IP route. Here we are. These are all the networks behind router 1 are installed in target router. Right? Perfect. After that, we jump into router 1 for creating our access lists and ACL for filtering the packets. We want to play with ACL and Route-map for we're gonna play with the packets for filtering whatever we want. We go and jump into router 1. Listen guys, right now I'm going to create an access list, and then I'm going to apply this access list into EIGRP topology for filtering packets to allow to be advertised only for network 10 and 20 in the topology, right? And then after showing you the result in router 3, I'm going to create another scenario. For example, route map. I'm going to create route map and then applying that policy route map in EIGRP topology afterwards. So first of all, I'm going to create an ACL access list here. For creating access list, I'm going to IP access list with question mark. You can see the potential commands that we can input. In this case, I'm going to input standard. Guess what? Because I'm going to specify the networks we want. So it's going to be standard. And then you have to specify your name, your word, your strings for your access list or ACL. So I'm going to name it, for example, R1, R3, guess what? ACC. For knowing that this name does belong to ACL. And after that, we get into router 1, router 3, ACC. with question mark, you can see that we can specify our sequence number. Guys, if I don't input my sequence number, it's gonna add the number by 10 by default. But I'm in the habit for inputting my sequence number. For example, I input 15 for the sequence number. I'm going to completely explain in that video about ACL in the upcoming videos. Don't worry about that. 15 with question mark, you can see we have to specify our permit or deny the permission, which is absolutely permit right now. With question mark, we have to specify the networks we want to permit. In this case, I'm going to specify network 10 and 20. As I just told you in this video, I'm going to use summarization for allowing traffic from networks 10 and 20. So I'm going to input the first two octets of the IP addressing, and guess what? The third octet would be 0 and 0. And we have to input a wildcard mask. What is the wildcard mask of CIDR/16? Right, it's gonna be 0.0 and .255, and it's gonna increase the range of networks for the last two octets, whatever the host ID or net ID, no difference. It is included of the last two octets, right? I'm going to enter that, and after that it's time to apply this access list into our EIGRP topology. We're going to exit from ACL. We have to get into EIGRP configuration again. Sure. Running EIGRP. I'm not going to. I'm lazier than I typed the commands again, so I'm going to copy and paste. Router EIGRP CCNP and address family IPv4 with ACE number 10. I'm lazier than typing that again. Okay, after getting to EIGRP configuration, listen guys, because we configured EIGRP named mode, if we configure EIGRP in classic mode, we could easily input distribute list and assign the access list into our EIGRP topology. Because we configured named mode, we just have to input, after getting to EIGRP configuration, we input topology base. Now after getting to the topology, we can easily input distribute list, and guess what? We have several options here, but right now we have to do with this one, word access list name. What was the access list name? I don't remember. Let me see. Let me check out what was the name. Show access list. Here we are. This is the name of the access list. I'm going to copy and paste. Distribute list and name of the access list here. And after that, guess what? We have to specify the outgoing or incoming traffic. In this case, because all of the networks are behind router 1, and because we are in router 1, we have to specify outgoing traffic, outgoing interface. Guess what? Because all of the traffics are going outside, right? So it's going to be out. And as soon as we input this command, if we go to router 3 in the target router, this is before inputting the policy and access list in router 1, right? If we show IP EIGRP TT or topology table again, here we are. The network C is eliminated and there are only network 10 and network 20. That's interesting, right? IP route. As you can see, there are only network 10 and 20 are installed in routing table in target router. So network C is not allowed to be advertised in the topology. And the role is declared in router 1. So in outside traffic in router 1, it is going to stop and drop network C advertisement to outside. That's interesting. And in the next step, we're going to specify and create our roadmap here. And I'm going to completely explain how to create roadmap and what are the prerequisites for creating roadmap and applying the policy into EIGRP topology. But before starting with roadmap, I'm going to reload all of the devices first. Reload, and reload. Because this is just an emulator, guys. There are many bugs in this software with GNS3 and the OS with Cisco OSs. So I don't want happening any bug in my topology and scenario right now. I'm going to reload all of the devices. It takes a little bit time for coming up. Okay, router 1 is up now. Router 2 up. Router 3 has come up as well. Okay, let's log into router 1. Let me check out something, guys. I think I didn't save the changes after creating our ACL or access list here. We show access list. Oh shit. Right, I didn't save the changes after creating our ACL, so we have to create another ACL. Listen, guys, before creating your roadmap, it is needed to create your ACL for specifying the hosts or the networks that you want to come them to play, and then creating your roadmap and assign that access list into your roadmap here. You got it? So we have to create our access list first before doing anything for roadmap. IP access list. What was the name? I'm lazier than typing that. You know that, right? This is the name. Oops, detected the mark. Access, IP access list. What it says, IP access list. Oh right, I forgot to input the standard or extended address list. As a result, we need standard because we want to specify our networks here, and then we input the name of the ACL, and after that I input the sequence number, and then permit we input 192.168.0.0. Wildcard mask would be the first two octets would be 0 and the last two octets would be 255 to increase the range of IP address. And after inputting that, we actually exit to show access list. Here we are. We created our ACL and access list. We do right. I'm going to save the changes. Perfect. Now it is time to create our roadmap here. For creating roadmap, you can easily input roadmap, and then we have to specify the word or name for your roadmap. I'm going to input something like the name that we just declared for access list here. R1 to R3, the difference is it's going to be map, for recognizing that this policy is for roadmap. And we have to specify our sequence number. As I told you before, if you don't input the sequence number, it adds by 10 by default. So I'm going to, for example, input 15. And after getting to our roadmap, we have several options here. We're going to match guys, let me check out something here. Match IP address, and we have to specify the word, which is access list, and guys, let me check out something. First of all, I'm going to remove this roadmap first. Again, after sequence number, after the name of the roadmap, you have to define that this policy is permit or deny. So I forgot about that. Sorry about that. Okay, now we actually want to permit this policy and then sequence number with 15. After getting to our roadmap, we have to match the IP address, and guess what? We have an access list. As you can see, we have a couple of options here. We have to assign our access list here, or we can input our prefix list. We have no option for inputting our networks directly option here. You got it? So the prerequisite for creating your roadmap is access list or prefix list. We're going to talk about this prefix list in the upcoming videos, so don't worry about that. We are going to match IP address. What was the name of the access list? I forgot about that. Sorry guys. I think I have to see my doctor about my memory is awful. Show access list. Here we are, match IP address and the name of the access list. Have to just copy and paste. Our roadmap is created, and now we are allowed to apply this policy into our EIGRP topology. And after that, we have to get into our EIGRP configuration as well. That's the same as we did in access list, right? Router, EIGRP, CCNP, address family. And after that, if you remember that, because this is named mode, we have to get into topology base first, and then we input distribute list, and guess what? We have to input this command, roadmap. And after roadmap with question mark, you can see you have to input your roadmap name here. What was the name of the roadmap? I remember that this time. The name was R1 to R3, I guess so. What was that? Map. I don't remember. Sorry about that, guys. You show road map. This is the name of the road map here. I have to see my doctor. I think my memory is out of order. This roadmap name, and after inputting our name of the roadmap, guess what? We have to specify that this is our incoming interface or outgoing traffic. So as a result, it is outside traffic. And if I go to router 3 before inputting the policy, before applying the policy in router 1, I'm going to show you routing table, IP route. All of the networks are actually installed in routing table in target router, router 3, right? So I'm going to apply this policy in EIGRP topology. Listen, guys, you might ask me a question, shall we apply this policy in incoming interface? If you pass the ACL in CCNA course, it says that if you want to apply your policy in incoming interface, imagine this. A huge data are coming from outside and they suddenly hit the policy in incoming interface. So it's going to be decrease the speed. You got it? So it is strongly recommended to apply your policy in outside traffic in the start router in the beginning. You got it? So that's why I applied this policy in outside traffic, in outgoing traffic. And as soon as we apply this policy in router 1 for outgoing interface, if we go router 2, router 3 in target router, which show IP EIGRP TT or topology table, as you can see, the network C is not here, doesn't exist. And if I show IP route, here we are, there are only network 10 and 20 here. And network C is not allowed to be advertised in the topology anymore. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. That was all about filtering the packets in EIGRP topology. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't lose the next videos. In the upcoming videos, we have a lot of fun things about filtering packets. It has a lot of fun, so don't lose it. See you soon.